I'm Chris Brogan. That's Julien Smith. You can find him at inoveryourhead.net or juliensmith.com, Julien, people of Earth. I'm Chris Brogan, chrisbrogan.com. Julien, the book, The Impact Equation, is not a sequel to Trust Agents, although you could lie and think it really is. And it's also not a book on social networking. And as early reviews have said, except that you talk about it a lot. Help me make the distinction to people.
That fundamentally we are learning about the human being at the end of the spectrum, and we're learning about society, and we're learning about what messages work in society and what messages work with people. So we don't talk about the network because there will always be different networks. It is not relevant how many friends of X or followers of X you have. What matters is how you impact the people at the other end of the line. And that could be true whether you're on a soapbox in the middle of a square in a tiny medieval town, or whether or not you're speaking to them on a gigantic Google Plus hangout with 1,000 people on it. No matter the technology, it's the people that matters. That's why.
So we have a couple different ways of looking at this. We use this equation that's called CREATE. It's contrast times reach plus exposure plus articulation plus trust plus echo. I can't believe I did that. And the other way we look at it is we broke it into goals, ideas, platform, and the human element. In that second way of explaining it, I find that everyone seems to have two out of the four of those licked. They have great goals that they've really articulated into great ideas and no platform. Or they have this amazing platform and they're saying nothing. Or they've got great ideas and an incredible platform, but they haven't really done the work to make people care. Is that what you're seeing too?
Yeah, I notice actually sometimes it's even one out of the three or the four. And it's amazing what happens when everything aligns. So you'll notice right away someone has a huge platform. They're amazing with people, but their ideas are like, nah. Or and immediately if they line up their ideas, at which point, if that's the most useful part of the book for you, that's great. Because actually, that's a very important part of getting something out there. So if we can help you align that thing, the results skyrocket. Because everyone, and the same thing, obviously, if you have great ideas but no platform, we're very strong at building platforms, so we've been able to do a lot of trial and error on that. Then your great ideas will actually have people to connect with. And then,
the book is stuffed with how-to information because both of us read a lot of business books, and we find that it's just time to get off the stage and stop pontificating. You've got to get on the stage and say, and here's the recipe, and whatever. So we have huge sections on how to have better ideas, how to think of ideas like stories, how to mind map, all this kind of stuff. Are we at risk because we've jumbled it too much? Are people going to think that there's just too much in here?
I used to think that, but as it turns out, from learning from filmmaking and learning from people who tell stories, when you have gaps inside of certain areas, like inside a book or inside a movie, people fill the gap in in their head. So you don't literally need to be like, here is this long thing, and treat it like it's one essay. In fact, it's like hundreds of great ideas. And this is the number one thing we hear about the book so far from early reviews. We hear, I have been taking notes furiously because it's constantly giving me new ways to think about what I do. And it's constantly giving me new ways to work on the things that I have. So I don't think that makes it, that it suffers from that. I think that that's the way the brain works. The brain works in connecting ideas from one to the other really quickly. And that's how we built the book out.
That's how we do it anyway, damn it. Listen, we don't have any time, but I want to ask you one more thing because this has all been useful to me. One of the things that I think too is, when people say that there's lots of ideas, I've got to stop and take some notes. We both argue that people don't do enough with actually absorbing books and doing something with the books. Why should I, for example, launched for this next coming year, a year of only working with 3 books. Why should someone pick Impact Equation to be one of those books that they'd work with for a whole year? Because I don't feel ballsy enough to say they should, but I'm just curious, why would you say it?
I'll tell you why I think it, and I genuinely do. I mean, the point is the ideas of the book. We just have put them into a nice compact format. And I'll tell you why I think that is. It's because if you're not working on your platform, your ideas, or your network, or especially your goals, which are the 4 sections of our book, you're literally, I think, wasting your time and your career. Those are the 4 things that matter in terms of your career and propelling it to the next level. And if you are not doing those things, then literally you're just running your wheels and you're not making any progress. I genuinely believe this. That is why that book is divided into the way that it is. And so I could say that with confidence and say, this book can be read again and again and again, because fundamentally those are the three things that will change your life and your career. The simplest possible expression.
You're Julien Smith, inoveryourhead.net. I'm Chris Brogan, chrisbrogan.com. Thank you so much for even giving it a look-see. We'll catch you out there on the nets.